Welcome to Mystic Moons. Aware or beware. Collective messages is what we're going to explore for a little bit. If you appreciate my time in doing this video, do let me know. Do give me a thumbs up. I have a few things I want to set up before I'll get started, so give me a moment. Probably give me about a few moments. I have to find my lighter. Okay, so I lit my incense. I have the decks of cards I'm going to use. Hello, everyone. Thank you for likes. Yes, so I'm here to do messages from Spirit. These are messages possibly. It's a little late where I am. I don't know if it's midnight or 1 a.m. I haven't paid attention. And I did get up at 5 a.m. earlier, so I'm just going to do a few messages before I go to sleep. And definitely thank you so much for the likes. Yes, I appreciate that. Thank you for showing me that you appreciate my time and energy. These are going to be messages for the collective, so take it as it resonates, whatever comes out. I don't know if I'll do a full hour, but we'll see how far we get. I'll do at least 2 messages, maybe 3. I do consider these messages to be timely as you're watching them. Basically, that's when they apply. If you're watching this after the fact, feel free to skip around in the reading if you're not catching it on the live. So, let's go and start. First message, let me just shuffle this. And first message from Spirit. Let's cleanse one more time. You know, I've been thinking about how Trump has pardoned Epstein. Whole lot of thoughts around that, but trying not to allow that to affect the reading that I'm about to do. Just another reason why I'll bang that just a few more times. All right. First message. I have Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles, work. Does the work ever end? Maybe it does. Maybe it does not. But I have work here as message. That work in lonely. Not much support in what you're working for. The people who are around you physically are not much support in what you are working for. Perhaps this is someone who's working alone. Not you, but someone who's alone in their labor. Alone in their labor, ready for partnership. With under Eight of Pentacles, we have Two of Cups, Knight of Wands, Four of Wands. We have some water here with Two of Cups. Of course, this is Cancerian. Of course, we are in Cancerian season, but we have more prevalently, we have earth and we have fire. If I was going to name signs on them, I would say we have Capricorn, we have Virgo, we have Aries, we have Sagittarius. But I have lonely and bingo. Somebody's coming to go and seek partnership. Should be a good surprise. Surprise and bingo are almost the same sort of energy that's here. And let's see what else we have. Lonely, surprise, and bingo. New love. New love coming up. Perfect match. Shall I end this reading, this message right here? For those of you who are working alone, or perhaps somebody is themselves quite alone, quite single, feels like also too waiting for that match, someone who's just not with someone because they're tired of being alone, but they can actually handle the bitterness and the loneliness that comes from walking by themselves rather than taking the easy way out and settling, or perhaps enjoying people, knowing that it's only going to be a momentary thing. This person in this energy does not do that. This person accepts the fact that if there's no one worthy to be by their side, then they won't deal with that person. They're a strong person. A strong person who has faith that someone who they truly want to be with, who they really want to work towards and build with, will eventually arrive, as long as they are, well, first of all, vigilant, watchful. There's a word that I want to say. As I said, it's 1 a.m. and I'm a little tired where I am. It's not watchful and it's not noticeable, but it's in that energy, like you are being noticed. My vocabulary, as I said, is failing me, but it's in that energy. Anyway, I will pull 2 more cards on this. only because I have new love and perfect match. And I think I'm going to pull a tarot, 2 tarot on this. I have some more earth with 6 of Pentacles. So it actually brings in all the earth signs for this, because we had strong Capricorn, we had a little bit of Virgo, now we have a little bit of Taurus. And I have the moon, bottom energy, the sun. Well, there's somebody who is deeply in their feelings, and I feel like too, they're also judging the suitability, or they will be judging the suitability of you and them together as a pair, in a pair. That's message number 1 from Spirit. Search is finally over. New love is indeed on the horizon. Let me say in this energy too, some people could very well find themselves at least starting this new connection come June, come July. Come the days when the nights, well, it feels like the days and the nights, maybe when the days and the nights become equal measure. Right now we have longer days and nights. But there's an emphasis on both, but also too, before I switch out of this message, let me also go and say that for soulmate pairings and fated connections, I do always see my sun and moon as the foremost pairing of partnership. More than kings and queens of the same suite, more than an emperor and an empress, a sun and a moon. Someone who matches your intensity, who complements your depth, like the sun and the moon. Something to look forward to, something to anticipate, something to be aware of, and something you don't have to do much for. Because that energy is already building, this energy is already here, this energy is already happening, and no, you don't have to go out and seek it, you don't have to go out and build it. You have to give it time, like a flower, to grow from its green stage of budding to when the first hints of color start arriving on that bud, and then as the leaves slowly and surely unfold. Into the flower. Let's get another message. So another message. I do want another message, but I'm not going to direct it as to what it'll be. Whatever Spirit wants us to know, that's what I ask that it'll come out. So, let's see. Nine of Swords, bottom of a deck energy, Queen of Cups. Someone's feelings are not being appreciated, noticed, known. Someone is not properly communicating. Mismatch of communication. Potential is there, but mismatch of communication. Also, too, one person may think, that the other person is just too independent, too self-assured, too busy with their own things, and then therefore someone else is getting cold feet. They say, oh, well, that person isn't even whatever towards me. And meanwhile, both of the miscommunication, the chasm, the gulf of understanding is harder and harder to breach, forming just a gulf of misunderstanding. Let's find out more with why do we have 9 of Swords? I get rabbit a lot. I kind of wonder why. I am not someone born in the year of the rabbit, but I get a rabbit a lot. Now, of course, rabbit was 2023. I'm also going to say that for the cardinal signs, but then this also goes down into the fixed signs, also goes down into the mutable signs, that with the certain shifts that happened in the beginning of the year, things that happened in the last 2-year cycle, which would be 2023, have kind of been put into rest. I am also going to say, although we're in midnight, we did just recently conclude the 7/7 portal, right? The 7th month of the 7th day. And also think about the vibration of 7. So 7 can be a number of, it's a number of thought. It's a number of independence. It's a frequency of, of innovation, rather, vibration. Everything is a vibration. A frequency of innovation. Maybe not the most organized innovation, but it is calling upon you to ideate, create, and innovate. A 7 vibration. I forgot how we got on 7s. Oh, because we just concluded the 7th month of the 7th year. The 7th month of the 7th day. As I said, I'm a little tired right now. Anyway, I have the year of the rabbit. So think about it. Is there anybody that you know who was born in the year of the rabbit? Anything that happened in 2023? If I was saying a little bit more about characteristics, well, look up the positive characteristics of rabbit. The negative characteristics of rabbit would probably be someone who allows another to push you around. More typical, I recommend you look at the positive aspects because these will be the traits that this person projects. If it's a person and not a year. So someone who is very sociable, someone who is sexy, but in an approachable way, not an offhand way. Someone who's genuinely well-liked, agreeable. Those sorts of characteristics. There's more that are on the tip of my mind, but we'll leave that there. I invite you to go and take a look at the definitions and characteristics of rabbit. So also with rabbit, I noticed I had a card that flipped. I have a couple cards that flipped. Let's see. I like my cards to be in the same direction. And I think they're all in the same direction now. Okay. Wait, are they? One moment, I see some more cards that are flipped. All right. I think I have 200 cards here? I have a lot of cards here. I have probably a little bit more cards than I need, but I still want more. I have knows your name that came out. I have helper that also came out. And I have key. Someone help you with a key. Someone in the year, the rabbit who knows your name. Who was the helper? Was there someone who actually helped you? Is there a rabbit who's, well, it says knows your name. This person knows you. This person helped you unlock something, helped you find something, and likewise, too, they probably also think that whatever you ultimately need or ultimately something need to move forward, to progress, to be successful, they assumed they could not provide that extra ingredient. I have Knight of Pentacles and I have Chariot. Is that someone moving forward? I have Local, Story, Stagnant. Well, I do have stagnation that's probably been happening for a while with Knight of Pentacles. Could be a year, could be longer than a year. And not much has been happening in terms of progression, in terms of success. Not much visibly has been happening in terms of success. So, and the gist of this Nine of Swords energy, because all I'm getting is a bunch of background information. Worth waiting for. Separate. Somebody's coming back. Someone's coming back. Just because I'm sort of curious, that secrets have magic. Worth waiting for has caring, and separate has cold. Secrets also has a magic wedding. Secrets also has a divorce. Well, kind of creepy. Someone's going through a divorce. Someone who you met probably misconstrued themselves to not their full situation. That person wasn't as free as what they led you to believe. That person had someone else that they had planned on. And it looks like that primary thing of the secrets is that that person is separating themselves from whom they've been with. And I don't know why worth waiting for comes up with separate, and I have the secrets being a wedding and a divorce, a separation happening. Well, it's not my message. I mean, you know what I mean. I'm not the one curating this, but I personally don't get how it's worth waiting for someone to become free from the attachment that they already made commitment to in the first place and have been keeping you. They approached you not honestly. They didn't treat the connection they were with initially honestly. I mean, I don't know, whatever. Um, Sometimes the messages are like that. I'm pulling one more card on this and then we'll go on to the next message. I have Ace of Pentacles. Someone's going to be offering you, well, it feels like they're going to be offering you something really great. If it wasn't for the fact that they weren't they weren't they weren't true to you to begin with. And sadly, this person that's coming to you now to offer you something consistent, to offer you something now in really great energy, not only were they not upfront with you in the beginning, they also were not upfront to the person who they have been with. Maybe they're separated, maybe they're already separated from that person, but the fact is, when they were with you, they were not. So this person did the naughty, did a big no to both, not only you but also to them. This person's sense of honor, I don't really see how they could have honor, even with the Fool, Ace of Pentacles there, and Page of Pentacles. This person is offering something very special, something very beautiful, but how can they do that when they started off the connection by not being forthcoming to anyone, including themselves? Anyway, that's one message. Let me fold these cards back and we'll get a third. Third, because I think that will be my limit right now for aware and beware. Let's get one more message after I shuffle. All right. Let's see. What's another message that needs to come out? Let me get let's cleanse. If you're ever interested in sound healing, think about the way a singing bowl cleanses and Tingsha's call. Gongs, if you have any gongs, or if you're interested in gongs, gongs vibrate, they all vibrate, but gongs are portals. They can solidify you, they can ground you, or they can have you go elsewhere, have something else come in. Think about a gong as a portal. If you're thinking about sound energy, sound healing. Now, let's see what other message we have. Oh, that's a repeated card. Lonely. Someone is lonely. I don't know if they're lonely for their favored one or what that favored one is. We'll have to wait and see. And baby. Lonely, favored one, and baby. Well, my first question is, are we dealing with an actual child? No. Not dealing with an actual child. Maybe a child that's coming. Maybe this person is in juvenile energy, bottom of the deck energy. I have 6 of Cups, Hermit, Death, Hangman. There's a potential. Okay. There's a potential for a third. I'm not going to say a third party. There's a potential for a third thing to sprout. There's a potential. In short, what this message is that I have in my hands is don't be susceptible to flattery. For some of you, someone who you could see as quite impressive, Emperor and Tower, is coming to get to know you better. Maybe you actually are a favored one, but I do see that message number 1 here. Don't be susceptible to flattery, even if it's from someone who you wish to be acknowledged in their eyes, because what I see is a spider plant sprouting. You are like a spider plant. Someone is like a spider plant, and someone is going to have a whole bunch of spider plant bushels by underneath their pot. So unless you want to have spider plant babies, be careful about who you allow to warm your days, to give color to your days. Because someone here is indeed lonely, and there's a connection coming. What exactly does that connection leave? Well, we'll leave those cards here. And I'm going to pull 3 more. 3 more just to accompany this message. Now that I know that we're dealing with not a baby that's here yet, but there's a possibility of one coming. The end. Sadist. Disinterest. Someone who rushes in, someone who rushes out. A good move. Bad. So I have 2 people coming up here. I definitely have left-right energy here. One way, the other way, and both paths are seesawing to one. I have somebody coming. Maybe I have 2 people coming. Sly, mistrust. Okay, I'm getting repeated messages. So I have rapid again. I have lonely again. I feel like I have 2 people here. Hello, Riley. I do feel like I have 2 people here. For some of you, there's somebody who you already met You already had an ending with that person, and yet that person is coming back. And I think that that person is not to be trusted. There's also someone new coming. And more than anything, I'm getting, don't be flattered by either. That Lover's card really wants to come out. Don't be flattered by either's words. If I was going to go with a side, though, I'm going to say go with the new. I do think that previous person is going to show some proper remorse. But I don't know if I would trust it. And I say that too because we have Emperor energy. And an Emperor energy is really a free agent. I mean, think about it. An emperor rules by their own boundaries, things they set, things they say. And maybe the rules that they set for everyone isn't the rules they themselves follow. After all, they take responsibility of growing their domain, growing their kingdom. How do you grow a domain? Not necessarily by diplomacy, fairness. I mean, you could, but also too, who decides what's the fairness? What's fair? Who decides what's right, what's wrong, how things should be? There is someone who has to set that up. And that's why the Emperor energy is interesting, especially if you're in the Emperor energy. But I feel to be around or under the Emperor energy, I feel it calls for you to be very, very aware and very, very vigilant. Because ultimately, this person is doing things based on what they believe is right, not necessarily of what is. Likewise, you can be acting in Emperor energy too. You can adopt that energy and go into what you think is right. Anyway, something to think about. So I say that there's flattery coming your way. And that flattery very well can lead into something very tangible, very good. But you have to be cautious not to be flattered. That someone who you find, or someone's who you find very impressive, also finds you, well, that you're currently their number one choice. Don't be flattered. It's the only thing I can say for the caveat. Don't be flattered. And there is flattery coming your way. There's acknowledgement coming your way. And that should make you feel pretty good. But I feel like ultimately there are some things going on in the overall environment that you're not aware of. And I do feel like all three of these messages are of the same branch. Riley, did you enjoy your trip to Florida? I think you wrote me on one of my readings that you also were taking care of a puppy or something. If my memory serves me. I hope you enjoyed your trip to Florida. I hope the puppy or the animal you were taking care of is healthy now. Go and get one more message here. Let's see. Just do one more because all of those are so, well, it's kind of exciting. I feel like there are two types of people in this collective reading. One definitely is a new connection. Definitely a new connection. One is someone who thinks they can go back and pick up something they left behind. Well, many different types of people, many different types of situations, many different ways people get together, and many different ways people separate. Or never even join or meet in the first place. Plenty of people are also isolated and alone. But one more message. Let's see. Did I shuffle that? I could have sworn I shuffled that, but I feel like in that last reading that I did, it was the lovers with 10 of cups right there. I know I shuffled it, but I don't like the fact they were together again. So I'm going to shuffle a little bit more. Okay. I think I may have to go and get my cat, though. Quiet. Quiet. I might have to go and get my cat. I have him in the other room. Chi-Chi. He says, oh, I'm by myself. I have to go and get him. Okay. So, I don't think I drew. Yeah, I was going to, but then I didn't like how two cards were lined up the same way that they were lined up before. So I didn't like seeing that. Let's go and see something else. 5 of Wands with 9 of Swords. Ace of Pentacles, a partner. Well, disagreements in partnerships, not really seeing eye to eye. Doesn't necessarily have to be love, but it is disagreements about how to operate too. Whose ideas are best, whose plans are best, maybe also to future plans. Maybe future plans together, how to go and build your plans or resolve your plans with the people who you care about, the people in your life, maybe your friend's trajectory, your family's trajectory. Could it be coworker trajectory? I don't know if it's coworker. It's closer than that. It's friends, it's family, it's people who want to spend time with you, people who want to build with you, people who care about you, people who care about the direction that you go in, and people who feel like they can tell you what you should do or make value judgments on what you do, and they think that their opinion matters to you. Maybe it does. So in that respect, 9 of Swords is still here. So in that respect, this 5 of Swords, this 5 of Wands is actually a little sticky. Because there are people here that either you do want them to praise you or acknowledge what you're doing, or they do want to see you at your best. One or the other. Maybe both. These aren't people you can easily discount or discard, and yet there is an impasse on how to do things, what to do, who to do it with, what's the best way. And they're not seeing your way as being best as opposed to their way. So again, not the best energy. There's caring, but different life paths, different ways of operating. And with that in mind, let's go and see a card. See a card. Let's see. Talented. Well, that's probably first of all why they care so much and care so deeply. There is a desire to see you at your best. Of course, how to go and get to that place where you're acknowledged to be at your best. Well, that's another question. So talented also gets best friend. Very, very caring, very much invested in you being the best you can be. It's just different modes of going about it. Do you sit back? Somebody is advising you, someone is willing to help. Do you sit back and say, okay? Even though I may disagree with what you say or what you see or what you want me to do, because I know that you have my best interest at heart, I'll say, okay. I do feel like the help that you would really appreciate would come if you just kept your mouth quiet and nodded, at least went with the flow for now. Is that possible? guess we wouldn't also too have Five of Wands energy if that was possible. Is that 2 cards? It's 1 card. So these are people who are already around you. And I feel like there's a schism here. There's some sort of decision that you'll make or they'll make, and it won't be approved by the other. They really won't like it, and they do believe that they're acting and that they're advising you because they have your interest, your best interest at heart. But how you're seeing things and how they're seeing things are from 2 very different perspectives. There's a falling out coming up. A falling out that this person will help you quite a bit as long as you just go along with the program. Is it that hard to go along with the program? Reunion, like, and weak. I have a falling out, but that falling out isn't something that's going to be long lasting. Someone's going to make the first attempt at reconciliation, but then the situation is still going to continue. This is a reoccurring energy. I have disagreements between family or very close friends, or family like friends. This person does have the resources to help you quite a bit. This person believes in the 100% in you, provided you do certain things. And whatever types of agreements or disagreements that come up, I feel like they're just part of this relationship for now, this phase of the relationship for now. But what's the point? Because I have a whole bunch of background again. I don't really have a message other than don't be afraid of disagreeing and standing your ground with those people who you care about close to you, because ultimately it's not going to really burn any bridges or damage anything. It's just another part of your another age or evolution or segment of your relationship. It's not going to actually damage anything. I guess that's what is one of the main messages here. What's happening here, or what is going to happen if this resonates with you, or if you think about this message in a situation like this, know that it's not going to damage. It's not going to even damage your standing with these people, this situation. I have some very lively kids outside. High frequency, and no, they are not mine. You know, I have that many things with ears and tails. They have 2 pink noses and 2 black noses. And they walk on 4 feet. They'll stay walking on 4 feet. They use a litter box. All right, so let's see what else we have here. I want something more definite. I have 8. We already know it's the difference of doing things. What is being done? Living life, a different way of living life, maybe a different type of vocation than what people expect you to do. I have some fundamental disagreements coming up. between people who want to see you at your best. They want to make things easier for you because they think that they have previous life experience and they like to impart that to you. Not going to be very happy with the choices you make in how you want to live your life. Is it who you want to live your life? I don't know. I feel like this is just how you want to live your life. Maybe also too where you want to go. Definitely what you want to do. Perhaps who you want to do it with, but I also have partnerships and relationships as the overall theme here. And I'm just going to say, if you feel strongly enough about what you want to study, where you want to go, and who you want to be with, know that the people who are pushing back against you the hardest, that won't damage or burn the relationship you have with them. Because ultimately all they want to do is see you at your best. And they're very much invested in how you live your life. And they intend, even if they do that contemptuously, they intend to do that together with you. So you won't be burning any bridges. If you want to study something, if you want to go someplace and someone is raising a lot of unpleasant opinions about it, well, that's pretty much all that they'll do in this energy. All right, so I'm ending this reading here. Thank you for all the likes. I feel like I almost could go on, but it's probably 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. where I am, and I do have to get up early. Even though, gee, those kids are still running around even though it's midnight. Some active little babies out there. Anyway, until the next reading, everybody. Oh, unless anybody has any questions. Does anyone get me at a moment when my energy is sleepy? I'll be pulling readings practically on the dream state. If you want anything. So yeah, thank you for your time, everyone. If you're watching after the fact, do give me a thumbs up. Also leave a comment. Let me know what you think. And I invite you to go and check out the videos that are in this series. And the next time, or for the next time, bye-bye, everybody. Have a beautiful day.